All right, and welcome to the No Right Answers first impression for For Honor. We've been playing the For Honor beta all weekend, and the game is about 2 weeks from release, just over 2 days, so 16 days from release. Um, Friday, 3 day beta, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I will tell you the first day of the beta, there were a lot of network issues, getting dropped from games, stuff like that. But by Saturday, all that stuff was pretty much cleared up. And it was a much smoother beta than the last time Ubisoft did the beta for For Honor, because that one seemed to be like a beta of how to run a beta. A lot of people who had invites couldn't get into the game, including me. So we had to wait for this one so they could smooth out their delivery system of the pre release version of the game. And it was a much improved experience where they just put the game in your Uplay library and then you just kind of click download instead of it having a code that you had to then go into. The last time it was just a complete mess. So I'm gonna start off by saying that this game is incredibly fun. By now, everyone's aware of the combat system, which they call the art of battle. Super simple. There's three stances: up, left, and right. If you match the stance of the guy swinging, you block it. If you don't, you get hit, and vice versa. In addition to that, each of the 9 characters in the game, so each faction of samurai, Viking, and knight, each get kind of like a heavy hitter, a medium hitter, and a fast assassin. They each have 4 unique perks. They can swing the battle, rally the troops, passive that gives you life on kills, things of that nature. And when you pair that with like the guard break mechanic and the push and pull mechanic, the combat system in this game has a deceptively high skill cap. One-on-one combat always feels like it's about outplaying the opponent versus, let's say, button mashing, or hoping for the best. There's always some luck in everything you do, but there's a rhythm of battle, and you get punished brutally if you lose concentration. I'm not a fan of the Dark Souls games, but it's kind of like that in that there is a high level of focus that needs to be maintained while playing this game to perform at a high level. I personally died quite a few times if someone would talk to me while I was playing, because once the rhythm was broken, you hit 4 or 5 times and then you just, a dead samurai lying on the ground. Overall, the 3 game modes that were made available across all multiplayer, because this is a multiplayer beta, as they try and make sure that the network stability is there for when they launch. There was a 1v1 mode, a 2v2 mode, and a 4v4 mode. I personally found the 4v4 mode to be my favorite. The 1v1 mode just seemed like, hey, you're going to get wrecked by just one dude. And then, of course, the 2v2 mode seemed kind of like I was going to be baited into hating my partner if we lost. And I felt like for the sake of my psychological health, I should just stick to the 4v4 game mode, which is called Dominion. And that is an objective based 3 zone kind of territory style game mode. But what it does is it mixes up Dynasty Warrior style, very low skill kill, like hundreds of samey nameless soldiers from one of the 3 ancient factions, to all of a sudden, hey, that guy has a name above his head, and you have to switch from just bashing soldiers to having a one-on-one battle where you go from blindly swinging your sword to now we're in the art of battle, and I'm going to block high, and then I'm going to quickly switch stances to right and then do a quick attack instead of a heavy attack to just kind of get you to either switch your stance or not. Or I'm going to dodge roll out of the way because your attack is flashing red and it's unblockable. And the combat system is really good because it gives you visual indicators, both hey, he's pacing up with like an up arrow, but then also, hey, his sword is now up. So once you get more comfortable with it, you don't even need the arrow indicators per se as much as you can get the tell from the character model, which again, when I talk about that deceptively high skill cap, that's where it's going to come from. The other thing that I think lends itself well to this game is going 1v2 or a 1v3 is impossible And I like that because it shouldn't be like that. You can play other games where it's like, oh, hey, this guy has the power to like summon a volcano and then kill three people, so it doesn't even matter. Or the game can suddenly swing in the side of the losing team because there's just one game mechanic that exists to let you catch up. It's not like this in this game. If you're fighting someone one on one and then a second person appears, you're probably going to lose that fight unless you were so far ahead to begin with that you could take one out and start with the other one. Because there's no blocking someone stabbing you in the back repeatedly with an axe. Again, that feels good. It feels balanced, and all the characters feel balanced too. The heavy guys hit hard, but if they miss an attack, they're gonna pay for it because the swing was so heavy that they're open for a counterattack. The fast assassin style characters, they can hit very fast. Their thing is speed, but two hits from a broadsword and they're gonna need to run away. And of course, that Vanguard style balanced character feels balanced. So overall, this game has the potential to be the competitive game that I play in 2017. But there are some things that worry me. So I'm going to leave it with a major concern, a not so major concern, and something that I would consider just me bitching superficially about something that doesn't matter. So the major concern I have is the progression system in the multiplayer mirrors the Call of Duty Prestige system, where you progress and you level up, but as you level up, you unlock items. So you don't get the items unless you level up. And I'm a big believer in all games that if you're not given all the items in the beginning, then you're creating a competitive disadvantage. And I know that, oh, hey, you'll eventually collect everything, but there's some less strategy there. So there's like your health, there's your fatigue and stamina regeneration, there's like your general power and your strikes, and you're supposed to make the decisions of what you want to prioritize and the gear that you wear. So you can have like an accessory to a weapon, the weapon blade, the armor you wear. But if you want to go ahead and go, that matters less the decisions I'm making, and it actually matters more, have I unlocked that cool thing yet? So have I gotten the best possible thing I can get? And then if I have the best possible thing I can get, and you don't have the best possible thing you can get, I have an advantage that's not based on skill or decision making. It's based on, hey, I found the thing before you did. And for me, I feel like that always sways away from the competitive nature, and then there's just some luck in the looting involved. Um, my next not so major concern, but still concern of mine, I kind of want the single player story to be good. I don't kind of want. I want the single player story to be good. Aside that the idea of Vikings versus knights versus samurai is like a great nerd wet dream. I want context. Like I want that to fit into a created fictional world. And if Ubisoft doesn't give you that fictional world where the pieces get together and the campaigns for each of the three factions feels like more than just a drawn out tutorial, I'm gonna be a little disappointed. They tease some context in the trailer with some like witch lady talking, and you know they showed the single player campaign at E3, and it all looked very good and violent and impressive. But I want to be pulled in. Like I want it to be that this world could exist, because the map that they present to you, they're all touching, and they don't touch in real life, right? So this is now a fantasy world where we're just taking stuff that exists in our world and fantasying up, and we can go for gusto. So let's do it. Let's make it something kind of meaningful and fun to play through, instead of it being like a tacked on, in the spirit of a first person shooter. No one gives a crap about the campaign mode other than to grab a few achievements. And then finally, kind of my superficial bitch about the game. The opening scenes to each level gets like repetitious immediately. Like after the second thing, it's like, oh, hey, guy screaming, a few boulders, a few rocks, fire arrows. I kind of tag out. I'm like, I have to sit through this again. Can I just get to the part where I'm charging in to get zone B? But again, that's less of a issue with the game and more of a just complaining now. But overall, I'm very excited for this game. I don't know if it's going to be a day one launch buy for me, but that's mostly because it comes out, I believe, on Valentine's Day, which is probably maybe I get it as a Valentine's Day gift. Who knows? Maybe I'll put it inside of a box of chocolates, even though I do it in digital download. So if you guys did play the beta, let me know if you agree with me down in the comment section below. Of course, this is a part of every YouTuber's video where we explain to you how YouTube works, like you've never used it before. It's a like button, a subscribe button, and then of course hit me up in the Twitter at NRAG_Danny. Thank you.